Cowboy fans and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you? Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic, you know? We get to sit back and analyze what the hell the NFLPA just did. Basically, the CBA got approved. We knew it was going to happen, and it happened with a majority vote of 1,019 to 959. Now, you do those tallies, I think they said only 71% of the actual whole union voted. That means a lot of people didn't either turn in to vote or didn't want to vote. And since it was all done electronically, I think more than likely they just didn't know what to do. They couldn't be swayed either way. Then again, it was the report that some players wanted to change their votes after they had already voted, and the NFLPA told them, no, you can't change your vote. You're already locked in. So it makes you kind of wonder, those 60 people that made it pass, did they really want it to pass? Just wondering. But on to the major issues. I saw the letter that Roger Goodell penned, or the statement that he put out, and I think it's full of horseshit. He said that the deal is beneficial for current players. That's great, except you're talking about the lower rung guys, because all you did was increase them by $100,000. Big whoop. You know, I mean, that's how you get them to go back to work. Just increase their minimum by a little bit, and yes, sir, we'll jump through hoops for you, boss. What else? The retired player benefits. Y'all should have been done that for those guys. I don't know why y'all wait for the CBAs to BS your way into trying to help those guys and make it seem like a good PR move. The split can go up to 48.8 next year with a TV deal kick. So after all that BS, and you still couldn't get 50% to the players when you're going to get some money next year. Funny. The salary cap. A lot of people thought 200 million or more. Not even close. It's 198.2. So you didn't increase to the point where a lot of people thought it would. So you're still stuck with that. The transition tag and the franchise tag, you can only use one. So that definitely screws the Cowboys, because now one of your guys is going to test free agency. And basically you just screwed yourselves, because you're more than likely going to tag that. So that means Cooper's going to be a free agent, and Byron Jones. So you just screwed yourselves with that vote. So good luck figuring that out when you've had over a year to figure out these three guys, and you couldn't come up with a deal. And now it's on you for the next, what's today, Sunday? You got to 11:59 tomorrow to hammer out something before the free agency tampering period starts at noon. Once that happens, y'all might have just outbid yourselves for your own guys. But there's a lot of wide receivers in the draft, not like you can talk to any of them now. So that's screwed up. What else? They said increases jobs. Okay. You increase the practice squad and the active rosters by 2 players for the next couple years. That's not that many jobs. There's only 32 teams, and you're increasing it by 4 players. Really? That's increased jobs? That's what you want to label that as? Nah. The one I like is the continued ensuring and progress of player safety. Now, if that ain't a full of BS statement with player safety, what player safety? What player safety are you asking for about adding a freaking extra game and instead of having 2 teams take a bye, now all teams but one in the playoffs are going to be playing wild card weekend. So how exactly is that helping a player who breaks his ACL on the 17th game or gets concussed during that first wild card game? Now he could have been. He's the second seed. Did you want to see somebody get into playoffs this past season and I'm sorry, Jimmy G couldn't go because he got a concussion in the wild card weekend or the 17th game, and now he won't be cleared for the playoffs? Seriously? That's player safety? Get out of here with that next. Oh, and I love the part at the end where they said they, for the last year, negotiated in good faith with the players' union. When your own vice president says you did not negotiate in fairness with the union, and he's suing you for it. So these players are locked in until 2030. I give them 6 months to a year before they start crying about it and hating the new CBA because it's not working the way they thought it would. These guys on the lower rung get paid, but they're still doing stupid shit. Sorry for the language, but the CBA just pisses me off that they dressed it up so much that it's helping the players, but all it's doing is making the owners richer. But they want us to sit here and be like, oh man, it was such a great deal. The players couldn't do anything else about it. They got the best deal they could. No, they couldn't. They can always get a better deal. It's just that they're too screwed up with their own union that they can't come to an agreement on anything. They got where they are. They're stuck because they can't do their own thing as a collective agreement. I mean, it's called the collective bargaining agreement, and yet no collective was worked on. Bargaining sure as hell didn't work, and there's no agreement. I mean, you got a majority vote, but 60 players were like, yeah, maybe I want to change my vote after I heard some things. Now, more than likely, this thing might not have passed if that COVID-19 didn't start. Think about that. That probably put a lot of pressure on these players that I got to get a job now and get a salary coming in because I may not have it this season if something happens. So, I don't know. The deal doesn't seem like it benefited all the players. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who say, oh, it's just the billionaires at the top of the rung, like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, J.J. Watts, that is not going to affect because they're so rich and so powerful. Well, apparently not, because if their voices stood for anything, the players would have said no. So their voices and power don't mean squat. Their millions of dollars don't mean squat except for them. So, well, it passed. It's approved. As far as the Cowboys go, they screwed themselves into a corner because now somebody's going to see free agency. So think about that. Now everybody's like, oh man, they tendered Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush might be your quarterback next season. I mean, you're going to tag Dak Prescott. He's going to be the guy starting the offseason. Because Dak said, if you franchise tag me, I'm not going to be there. So if he makes good on his deal, then good luck Cowboys this season, because your offense is not going to be implemented at the way they thought because they just lost their starting quarterback who doesn't want to be there now because acts of good faith got him nowhere and they screwed him the way he deserves that long-term deal, and he's not going to show up. You're going to lose your top corner, and more than likely he's going to go to NFC East team because every single one of them is gunning for him. And then your top wideout, if you don't figure out something in the next 24 hours and some change, you're not even going to, your top wideout's going to be Michael Gallup. we haven't even heard if Randall Cobb actually came close to a deal yet or anything, even though you negotiated with him. So your whole offense has just turned to dust, except for Zeke, who held out last year because y'all had the guy wanted to get paid early. And now it's just a mess. The Cowboys painted themselves into this corner when they drafted so well in 2016. In 2016, when everything went well and you knew these guys were going to be it, now at what point did you think maybe we should start saving some money and looking towards the future because we got to pay these guys? Apparently, it didn't even dawn on you that y'all have to pay all these guys. And then, on top of that, you just spent a first-round pick on a wide receiver that you rented for 18 months. You did, I mean, when you did it, I'm sure you thought, hey, we're going to have to pay this guy, but, I mean, the dude balled out. Maybe you got suckered into that deal that Las Vegas Raiders told you, saying, nah, this guy's not really worth it. He's not going to pan out in Dallas because he's a lazy worker and all that. So you're not going to really have to pay him after this season or next season because, man, he's not going to be worth it. He's not going to do anything for you. He might make your offense look good, but we'll take that first round pick of yours and turn it into something while you guys get this guy. And then he goes and balls out most of the time. And now you're stuck fitting a bill that you can't afford for him. I mean, if this ain't some horrible, horrible front office management, I mean, it should have been, I mean, we knew how bad the front office team is when you let Jason Garrett keep continuing to run this team for a decade, when, on average, if you're a new head coach and you haven't sniffed the playoffs or got to an NFC championship, AFC championship, by your 5th year, you're never going to make it. And y'all kept continuously recycling the same old bull year after year that Jason Garrett's the guy to get us over the hump. Yet he's shown you year after year he is not the guy to get you over the hump. And you just completely blinded yourselves to the fact that you guys are horrible at looking at talent and management. But be that as it may, it's the Cowboys. They want to dilly-daddle to the end, and now it's going to cost you. So somebody's got to go. We've been sitting here for months talking about Dak and Coop. Dak and Coop. Now it's just going to be Dak. And because you're tagging Dak, it's not even going to be him. So look at our first-team offense. It's going to be Cooper Rush leading the squad because nobody's going to want to go at him. Nobody wants him, even for an original round tender. Nobody's going to pick him up. Your top guy is going to be Michael Gallup. There's going to be Lance Lenore and John V. Johnson and Noah Brown and Devin Smith and those guys being your wide receiving core because you're probably letting all them walk. And on defense, you got your top corners, Jordan Lewis, who may or may not be in the slot. I don't know. You got on the other side Chidobe Awuzie, who can't turn his head around to pick off any passes and gets burned sometimes. And we don't know if Anthony Brown is coming back, so you don't really have anybody really behind those two to play these positions. No word on like Jeff Heath, so we don't even have a starting safety working beside Woods. I mean, this is the state of the Cowboys that they let happen on their own. They just let these contracts come up. They didn't talk to none of these guys. I mean, all these players want to stay in Dallas. They want to be Cowboys for life, but we know money talks. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen where everybody can stay. That's what happens with free agency and the fact you put on good tape and everybody's going to want your services, and then you're going to want that money to equate to your services. So we'll just have to see how the Cowboys get themselves out of this mess. It's going to be definitely an interesting time period Because not only can we not get a normal draft this year, the offseason is going to be weird for a lot of these players. The Cowboys are going to be in disarray because of all the new stuff coming in. And these top players, sooner or later they're going to get a microphone in their face and they're going to ask the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilsons, well, what happened with the CBA? And they're going to be like, get the camera out of my face. Because they think it was a bad deal and they got outvoted. It's going to be interesting. As if we even have a season. Right now, nothing is being postponed because it's in September. The new league year is still scheduled to start Wednesday. Well, they might think about pushing it back. Who knows? With the CBA in, a lot of maneuvering is going to have to happen because of the money getting kicked in and all that. But we'll have to see. All right. That's all I got for you right now. I just had to vent and rant about the CBA for a little bit there and how it screwed the Cowboys, even though they screwed themselves. But that's where we're at. Hope you have a good Sunday. Stay safe. Keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself going. Hopefully everything will be all right. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.